back in the playground. Today is my favorite day, push day. Lots of dips, lots of shoulder work and tricep work coming your way. Start off as always, checking out my scoreboard, seeing what kind of workload I have ahead of me, what I need to do to progress. Start off with an easy warm-up, just kind of getting my shoulders in the game. My shoulders have always been kind of my weak link, if you will, in the whole pushing exercise. So I do this, it's just push-ups and kind of moving the shoulders around, putting different weights on the hands, making sure that the shoulders can handle all sorts of intensities at different angles. Start off today with bar dips, straight bar dips. This is an unbelievably phenomenal exercise, especially for chest, triceps, and shoulders. Also works the back, as all dips do. Every time I do this, I'm reminded of a bouldering park that I went to when I was 14. It was one of these things where in order to quote, successfully climb on top of the rock, you had to push yourself up onto the rock just like this in order to have the climb count. And even though I did it like 8 or 9 times that day, my chest was on fire the next couple of days afterwards. Like no pain I had never known before. It was crazy. This is a great exercise. Range of motion is partially how we can increase or decrease the intensity. The lower you go, the harder it is. Right now I'm working on getting to the bottom of my pectoral line right about there and coming on down. Again, making sure as always not to let the shoulders shrug up to the ears too much. You can see I'm getting a little bit of a shrug there as I'm getting tired. Also really good for the abs, of course, as the legs kick out. Should probably be keeping my knees a little bit straighter, but I'll work on that. This is one of those moves that I really couldn't do at all a couple of months ago. I'd get like maybe 1 or 2 reps and the form was terrible. So this one's come a long way and I've gotten a lot more strength from it, particularly in the triceps and in the shoulders area. Trying this out on like a Smith machine bar is good for the beginner with your legs on the floor. Then we jump right into the strap dips. This, of course, is my bread and butter exercise for my pushing days. Love doing it on the strap dips as opposed to the straight bars. Nice depth. I love it because I can put my hands in every piece of my body, every joint I've got, whatever position I want. A lot of times I get on these bars, these solid bars, and it's like they're too wide, they're too narrow, they're wrong angle, whatever. Straps give us the freedom to move our body however we like, whatever's best for us. So that was my warm-up set, but now it's the meat and potatoes of my workout here. I got my weights for weighted dips here. The nice thing about straps is that they make all of your exercises, particularly your pushing exercises, harder, which means if you do add extra weight to your dip, you don't need to add very much. There was a time in my life when I was doing bar dips with a 70-pound dumbbell between my legs. Of course, that was also a time when I couldn't care less about my form, and I thought that exercise was all about how much weight you could lift. But of course, the success of an exercise doesn't come from the weight you can lift. It comes from the technique that you use. The weight that you lift is there to challenge the technique, and on these strap dips, it takes a lot less weight than you might think to adequately challenge. So 20 pounds, 15 pounds, hell, even 10 pounds can be a substantial increase when you're talking dips on the straps here, which is why I only have the couple of plates. Love using less weight for more intensity. These little tricks, these technical tweaks are definitely more comfortable on the shoulders, but still works the muscle like crazy, which is all what I'm all about. Then I supersetted that with, again, some shoulder pressing. I did this yesterday, of course, pressing my feet into the side of the post. Putting them on a step or a block like this is a little bit easier, not much, but a little bit. And of course, the higher your feet go, the more you're pushing yourself directly against gravity, so it's a little bit harder. So if I put my feet on the next step down, it'd be a little bit easier and vice versa. Right now, what I'm aiming to do is get my hips up in the air as much as possible. I don't have the hamstring flexibility to keep my legs completely straight during this exercise, but the more you bend your knees with that, the easier the exercise is as well. So then back, I'm doing my weighted dips. One of the things I'm focusing on right now is keeping my deltoids activated. A lot of times in dips, sometimes people will not have a full activation of their full shoulder cap, their deltoids, and the smaller muscles in the shoulders are what are kind of working along there. grind out the last rep. Love grinding out reps on the dips. Unlike things like bench press and stuff like that, you don't have to worry about things like failure and having a bar come down on you or some risk. Drop down the weight, figured I'd grind out a couple more reps just because you can do that with this kind of training. It's so easy to push yourself at your absolute limit and still be completely safe and completely comfortable. It's one of the big advantages of body weight based exercise. And then to finish off, I've got a little bit of tricep work here. This has got to be by far and away one of the best ways to nail the crap out of your triceps. It's similar to the old skull crushers and throwovers with dumbbells and barbells, but a hell of a lot more comfortable, a lot easier to crank out the intensity and the reps because, of course, your foot position determines your intensity as well as where your hips are as well. Much more comfortable. Anytime someone's saying, what do I do for my triceps? Always give them this exercise. Fantastic. It's also working my rear deltoids, my chest, my back, abs, and quads. Because, of course, with calisthenics, every exercise is a full body exercise with every rep and every exercise and every movement that you do. And again, here we can really push ourselves to the absolute limit and max. Of course, I'm using my towels, which I prefer to use. So there's my pushing workout. Till then, be fit, live free.